Hey everyone, it's Kenya back in Brooklyn. Today it is November 4th, I believe. Yeah, November 4th. And we are headed down. Buck, come on. We are headed down kind of towards Paradise Pond. But then when we get halfway there, then we're going to come back this way on the trails. So join us. So I am getting ready to go to Texas. My mother and I will be leaving the 6th. I gotta get up at like 3:15, I think, a.m. And I gotta get everything. I have everything ready, but I gotta get myself ready and get the cats ready, get the dogs ready, all that kind of stuff. They'll be staying at the house, but my husband doesn't take care of them, so I've made a list of everything. My cats, I'm gonna put the baby gate up in my door and they can just stay in my room. I put 2 things of water in there, hard food, and then I've made a bowl for each day with their soft food, so my husband can just put the soft food in there each day, and that way Buck won't go in there and eat everything. I will be at my mother's house at like 4:15, and then we gotta go to the airport, and we'll probably sit there for a couple hours. I'm not nervous for the plane ride, but I keep thinking that, and I gotta get this out of my mind, I keep thinking that something's gonna go wrong. Now with the plane, just, when you're traveling, you think you're prepared for everything, but Buck is pooing, so I'm gonna show you over here. You think you're prepared for everything, but you're not. So, but my sister down in Texas, she texted us all today and said, would you guys help us with getting the meal ready the night before the wedding? We all wrote back, of course. I didn't know I was going to go down there to work though, which is completely fine. So yeah, it'll be a nice wedding. But I've said this before, it just keeps draining my pocketbook a little bit more and more. My dad reminded me that I have to pay to have my car in the long-term storage down in the Rapid Airport. So there's another cost. So we're gonna eat when we get there Thursday night. We're gonna go right to Fredericksburg. We're not going to Belton. So I'm assuming that we'll eat at a nice restaurant. I wouldn't mind just either going to the store and grabbing some fruit and vegetables or going to McDonald's, but I know that's not what we're gonna do. Then Friday night, my sister has made reservations at a really nice restaurant. And I don't eat meat. So I was looking, they have one special menu for us. And I was looking at the menu and I'm like, Mom's like, can you eat any of that? It's like baked trout, chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables. And then a crudité platter and stuff like that. I said, I can eat the vegetables. I said, that's fine. I eat vegetables all the time. So, yeah. But that'll be an expense. And then I have to pay my sister $175 for my room, which I already have that in my suitcase. And then when I get back, I got to pay my mom $500 for the ticket. She said I could wait until we get back to pay her. So I am getting a bonus from work, so that's what I'm going to pay. her with. And then, of course, we're going to Buc-ee's. That's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm going to have money for Buc-ee's. And then when we're in the Denver airport, we get a couple hours, so we'll probably eat breakfast down there. And then on the way back, we only have about an hour in the Dallas airport. And I don't know if we'll have, well, we're leaving at 5:30 in the afternoon. So we won't be eating breakfast. May eat supper, but we'll probably do that before we leave. So there's another cost. So it's just little by little, you know. Boy, Buck is really far ahead of us. So it is a nice day, but it's a chilly day out. Right, baby girl. So where's Buck? There he is. So yeah, I can't wait to see my family down in Texas, but I'm so ready for this to be over with. Ready to come back to South Dakota because I'm gonna miss my dogs and my cats and my husband and stuff like that. So, but it'll be nice. The weather should be better than up here. So yeah. So I plan on videoing some in Texas. I'll probably video some of the plane ride, some at Denver airport, some at Dallas airport. Of course, Buc-ee's, I'll video in there. And then I'll make a return wedding video with the dogs. I'll put the dogs in the video also, so I'll put it on this channel just so you guys can kind of see how my trip went and stuff. Where are you going? We're going down here. Come on. He's like, where? Now I thought we'd go back up that way, but I think he wants to go down to Paradise Pond. Where are you going? Buck! Buck! We're going to go down this way. So the last couple of days, I have been out walking them, but I've not videoed. I just really haven't wanted to video the past couple of days. I've been cold. Every day that I've been out walking with them, I've been shivering and really didn't have much to say. So today I thought, well, this will probably be the last day I take them out, because tomorrow night I got to run over to my mom's house and we got to do our check-in, early check-in and stuff. So I might take them out for a little walk. Oh, are you pooing, baby girl? Buck! Okay. She says, I'm done. I done pooing. So I might take them out for a short walk, but I do have to go over to my parents' house and do the early check-in. We did kind of have a little upset with our tickets. So the entire time we bought our tickets on August 8th, and the entire time I had the tickets going down, but I didn't have the tickets coming back. And I didn't have where I chose the seats and stuff like that. And so I asked my sister in Texas, I said, when am I going to see the tickets coming back? And she said, well, maybe when you hit Texas, they'll load onto the app. And I said, okay. So then I asked my niece, who flies all over the place, I said, well, this is what Danny said. Do you think that's what's going to happen? She said, yeah, probably. So then, like 3 days ago, Danny called my mom, and she said, are you guys all ready? My mom said, yeah. She said, but we're just a little worried because we don't have the return tickets. So it was this big huff. And finally Danny called me and she said, well, check your email. And I said, well, I'm sure I have the email, but I don't know where it's at. I did archive it. But I said, I'll look on, I was thinking we booked on Trivago, but it was actually Expedia. And so I went on there and got my confirmation and I sent them to her. And she's like, you're flying down on United, but you're coming back on American Airlines. And I'm like, what? She said, get on the app and check. I got on the app. There were the return tickets. So I chose our seats and everything. And so, yeah, now we're ready to go. It was just kind of like my mom and I both thought that we were flying United both ways. I had no clue that we were going back on American. So, yeah, just a little wonky there. Now, the final thing is my sister says that a QR code should just show up and you just scan your phone that way. We have no QR code, but I'm thinking that after we do our check-in, that the QR code will come up. So, boy, you guys are so far ahead of Mama. You guys are so far ahead of Mama. If we go that other way around, you guys are going to have to help Mama up that hill. That tiny little hill. Is Buck pooping again? I think he is, so there, he's finished. So yeah, the tickets, I don't fly that often. My mom doesn't either. I flew on our honeymoon, and then my dad used to fly small airplanes. So we would, fly to North Dakota in that, but it was just a small airplane. Dealing with the tickets and everything online, just that kind of thing. I'm good with the electronics, but when you don't do something that often, boy, you figure out that you're not good. But it wasn't that hard once Danny told me that, it was American Airlines. Then I just downloaded the app, created an account for myself, signed in with the confirmation number, and there they were. But I was worried about that, and that's why I kept asking both Danny and Ashley, because they fly all the time. There's a gentleman over there. So yeah, it's just been just a little. What's that guy doing? I don't know what they're doing. It's over there on the road. So yeah. And then Jeremy, he will work Thursday and Friday, and then he has Monday off, and then Tuesday is Veterans Day, so we all have that day off. And we're going to be in at 9:36. Then we got to wait for our luggage, so that'll probably be another half hour. And then I got to get my car out of long-term and get Mom in and everything, then drive back to Sturgis, which is about an hour. So probably won't hit Sturgis until 11. Won't fall asleep until midnight. And then Tuesday, I have a different internet company coming because my internet company charges me $82 a month. And this internet company is only going to charge me $40. And I asked if there was a time limit on it, and he said no. So that's good. Anywhere I can cut down on my bills is good. Thought I heard somebody behind me, but I didn't. Boy, Buck and Brooklyn, they're just really ahead. Of course, baby girl's going to come and check on me, but excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. But yeah, everything is just so expensive that the more you can cut down on stuff, the better. I'm surprised my retirement fund has not plummeted. It did in January when Dumbass took over. If you're a Democrat, you'll know who Dumbass is. So I did move both Jeremy and my retirement into a safe fund. And then like 4 or 5 months later, I moved it back to the fund where a portion of it is played with in the stock market. So the funny thing is my husband makes more money than I do. Well, not really. He doesn't make more money because I've been in my position longer than he's been there. I've been in my position 18 years, and he's only worked there 10 years. But we're both the same level, but I have more steps than he does, which steps mean more money on a base pay. So he says that I don't know how to save and all that kind of stuff. I have 9% of my check going into my retirement account, which is not Social Security. It's my retirement. It's like a 401, but for the government. And he only has 5%. Well, the government will match everything. If you put 5% in, they'll match that. If you put more in, they'll just match 5%. If you put less in, they won't match it because they only match 5%. So he's always saying, why do you got so much more money in your account? Well, I have 9% in there. You could have that same amount if you put 9% in. He's always like, I don't want to put that much in there. Well, you know, I would rather have less now and have more when I'm retired. So, because once I'm retired, come on, baby girl, I am done working. I don't want to work ever again after I'm retired. I want to not have to ask people for permission. I am hearing somebody. I have my hood up, and I'm hearing somebody banging. Anyways, so I don't want to have to ask people if I can take this day off or that day off for medical appointments, or take this day off to take my dogs for a walk. When I retire, I want to be done working. So I want to have enough money so I can retire at a comfortable rate. And you wouldn't believe it. So I had this lady working with me like 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, is when she taught me how to invest in the TSP. And I went around and asked all my friends if they knew how to do that. And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh Lord, you guys need to invest, because in the government, the safe fund is a G fund, which means you don't get it doesn't collect anything. It's like a savings account at a bank. And, you know, the little amount that they would put in, that would just be it, you know. And so I helped each one of them invest and put them in a life cycle, which is a way of investing. And then whenever something would happen, like a hurricane or something like that, you have to watch the news and watch the stock markets and stuff. I would tell them, get your money into the safe fund because it's going to go down for a little while because of this or that. So I did that with a couple of my inspectors. One of my good friends, Deb, I always talk about Deb. I did that for her. I've just done it for a lot of people. So, yeah. Which is good, you know. That's a good thing to do for people. Because you want them to be safe, money-wise, when they retire. And Deb is retiring this next year. Which is going to make me sad because she's the only one I talk to each day. So, besides my dogs. I can't believe they made me go around this way because I hate that gradual hill. So, but they were excited. It's chilly. My nose is cold. And you can hear me breathing really hard. I haven't been taking my dogs for long walks because it's been so cold and stuff. But I have been taking them to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Brooklyn loves her Grandma and Grandpa. Buck loves them too, but Brooklyn her little butt just starts going nuts. Oh, we're almost to the hill. Can you guys hear that? I think that might be a cricket. I don't know if you could hear it. What you doing, baby girl? Huh? Say hi to everybody. All right, everybody, we're gonna leave you here because we have the icky hill to go up and I don't want you guys hear me gasping for air. Anyways, hug somebody you love, subscribe, like, and comment, and we will see you either tomorrow or next week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.